Hello folks, so today I'm going to make a video that may be, hopefully, the start of a new series, which will be doing a weekly football video, or soccer, to our American viewers, and I'm going to predict the scores from this weekend's, that's the weekend beginning the 3rd of December 2016. So, early kickoff tomorrow, big game, Man City, Chelsea, third versus first. Man City have one hell of a good home record, and Chelsea, who are currently top, don't concede many goals. The way Chelsea have been playing recently, and because Man City have been kind of erratic, Man City have drawn 3 at home. Chelsea's away record is 6 wins and 1 defeat, and a plus 16 goal difference away from home, which is kind of fantastic, obviously. Almost, well, just better than Liverpool. So I'm going to go for an away win, and I'm going to guess there's not going to be many goals. So we'll do away win. Hopefully not, but that's what I think. Next up we have Crystal Palace versus Southampton. Crystal Palace are on a bad run of form. They've lost 6 in a row now, I think. Last week they were 4-3 up in injury time and came back. Didn't come back, but they managed to lose 5-4 to Swansea. Southampton are having a sort of middling season. They had a good win midweek away to Arsenal in the Cup, even though it was the Arsenal reserves. Arsenal's reserves. So I think I can't see Palace getting anything from this game. They're just in too bad a run of form. They don't have a shocking goal difference. They're 17th in the league, just above the relegation zone. But above them is minus 10, below them minus 17, and they're only minus 5, and that's with losing 6 in a row. So they must have been going okay before that. But I think Southampton will win. But again, I don't think there'll be many goals in it. Okay, next up we have Stoke versus Burnley. Both of them very average this season. Stoke are 11th and Burnley are 13th. Stoke's home record so far is very average. 4 wins, 4 draws, 5 defeats. Burnley's away record, surprisingly good, actually. I wouldn't have thought Burnley had won 4 away games this season. So 4 wins, 1 draw and 3 defeats. I think I'll give this one as a draw. Just 2 teams in mid-table who will probably stay there. Next up we have Sunderland versus Leicester City. Last year's champions, Leicester, are having a lot tougher time around this time. And Sunderland are currently bottom of the league with only 8 points from 13 games. But you know what? I think, this is the thing. Leicester weren't in Europe this week, and they weren't in the League Cup either. So they've had more time to prepare. They've always seemed to have done bad this season after playing midweek in Europe. So I don't know. I've been reading the league tables completely wrong here. Anyway, it's good to find out 5 minutes through a video that I've been reading the table wrong in front of me. It's the first time I've seen this table. It's at ESPN FC.co.uk, and I wasn't aware that the first section, one win, draw, loss, for, against, is the total. And then the next one is the home, and the next one is away. Wasn't aware of that fact. So let's see. I will stick with what I said there. But for Sunderland Leicester, Sunderland's record overall, they've lost 9 out of their 13 games, and Leicester have lost 6 out of 13. But they've won 2 recently. Their home record is 1 win, 1 draw, 4 defeats. The problem is, I just don't fancy Leicester. Leicester's away form is shocking. No wins, 1 draw, 5 defeats. So I think this one will really tighten up the bottom of the table. I'm going to get this for a home win, and that will please my dad, who is a Sunderland fan for some weird reason. Okay, next up we have Tottenham versus Swansea. Tottenham have had another mixed season. They're drawing far too many games to be really up there. They're 7 points off the pace, or 7 points off the lead anyway. They've won 6, drew 6 and lost 1. So, but on the other hand, Swansea, down there in second bottom, their away form is 1 win, 1 draw, 4 defeats. They had a good comeback last week against Palace. It was the first win for their American manager, Bradley. I was going to say Walsh, but it's not. Bradley. Oh, is Bradley his surname? Anyway, I think it's Bradley his surname. Let's see. Spurs against Swansea. Well, it's 5th versus 2nd bottom, so sometimes you don't really need to think about it too much. Spurs are unbeaten at home, 4 wins, 2 draws. I think they will carry it on to 5 wins. So I'll put that down for another home win. Next up we have West Brom versus Watford. 9th versus 8th. West Brom's home record, very average, 2-2-2. And Watford's away, 2-2-2. -4. Watford's goal difference away from home, -4. West Brom's home record, +3. It's got all the makings of a draw there, doesn't it? Two mid-table teams, not going to do much. I think I'll go for not a draw. Say I'll make it a score draw. And then next week I'll check back and see how I did. Next up we have the evening kickoff tomorrow, which is West Ham versus Arsenal. West Ham having a very bad season. Not very bad, but after the way they've been going the last few years, it is surprising how bad they've done this season. Probably the move to London Stadium, or whatever it's called, hasn't helped them. Their home form's 2-2-2, a -3 goal difference. Arsenal away from home are unbeaten. They had a setback during the week after being 11, 12 games unbeaten. And then they played their kids and they got knocked out of the cup. They need a win to keep up the pressure in Chelsea and Liverpool and City. I suppose a good thing for Arsenal is if they win, both Man City and Chelsea can't win, so I'll tighten up the top of the table. I think I'll give this for an away win and crowd trouble. Next up, the first Sunday game, we have Bournemouth versus Liverpool. Bournemouth are doing okay this year. They're sitting there in 12th. They're 4 points off the relegation zone. Liverpool second place with 30 points. They've only had 1 defeat away from home, or 1 defeat all season actually. That was 2-0 against Burnley, which was a shock at the time. Probably the biggest shock is the fact that it's still their only defeat. So they're scoring plenty of goals, letting plenty of goals in as well. And they've scored 32 goals but conceded 14, which is one of the worst. Let's say it's only Man United have conceded more. So basically from Manchester United on down, barring Southampton, every team's conceded more, but still not good. So I think I will go for, I'll let my heart rule I'll just go by my heart and my head and say, see, these are the sort of games that Liverpool normally don't win for years now. This year they've been good. They've been beating the likes of Chelsea. They beat Chelsea. They did beat Chelsea and they beat Arsenal. They drew with Man United. They drew with Spurs. But these are the sort of games they normally slip up. But I think I'll pick Liverpool to win. And I think both teams will score. And then the afternoon game tomorrow, Sunday. Everton versus Man United. Everton are 7th. Man United are 6th. Everton are unbeaten at home, 3 wins, 3 draws. United are, average away, 3 wins, a draw and 2 defeats. I can say it's been an odd draw. Man United slipping further behind. They had a good win midweek against West Ham in the Cup, 4-1, so they're back to scoring goals again. But I think this is like one of the usual big games of the season, Everton and Man United. So I think I'll go for an odd draw. A draw would suit. I think Everton would take a draw, and Man United, well, they're just not up to snuff this year. And then finally, at the bottom, the Monday night game, the big one, Middlesbrough versus Hull. Middlesbrough are 15th and Hull are 18th. Middlesbrough's home record's pretty poor. 1 win, 1 draw, 4 defeats. Hull's away record, 1 win, 1 draw, 4 defeats. Hull would have had a hard game. They drew against Newcastle midweek in the Cup and then had to go to extra time and penalties. So even though they won, I think that probably would have taken it out of them. Plus, well, on the other hand, they're not playing until Monday as opposed to the Saturday or Sunday. But I think, as far as I remember, one of their central defenders was sent off, so he'll be missing. And they don't have much of a squad. So I think I'll go for a Middlesbrough home win. But again, not many goals. So there you go. There's my projections for next week. Not next week, for this weekend actually. And then next week I'll check back on that and then do the same again. Okay, cheerio back.